see Scav in chat. Scav aka Chase. Yeah, they said it was one of their best series so far. So I figured we can do a little bonus game here. So we'll do this this series, and then we will have Tatanka versus Melvin Fro to end it out on. So here we go. All right, up top we've got Chase, and in the bottom we've got durteetr. Okay, who is durteetr number 1? What a great name. I spelled it wrong on that. Let me make sure I respect this player and spell it the correct way. Even more crazy for a person named durteetr. Durteetr, like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's a lot of Europeans that play this game. I'm a dumb American. Like I don't know. Is this like some kind? I mean, I'm thinking like durteetr, like someone who eats dirt. Durteetr. I don't know. This seems like a Smurf. I'm suspicious. It's a very suspicious name. But Chase, I hear Chase is a little bit of a bad boy this season. Somebody to look out for. So I'm excited to cast one of their matches here. durteetr is definitely a European player, says QQ. By the way, what's up, QQ? Good to see you in the chat. We saw some of your matches earlier that were a lot of fun. So 6 farm double out of durteetr here. And let's see, Chase is just on an 8 farm. Warren, this is not quite the best map to do some cheeky pre-8 farm stuff. Actually, very big map. This is probably the most, like, this is a macro map that we've seen all day today. I mean, look at this. It's absolutely huge. Both players have access to a few mills here. A little bit better in the early game for Chase. Like, he's nice tucked in, 3 bases. You can't really ask for a better spawn than that. He's got a moat here. I mean, look at this. Is Chase paying off Andy? Is that what's going on? This is too good. But on the flip side, Dirt will have the better base in the long run, I guess, if this becomes a super enormous crazy macro game. Does have more mills in theory, but we very, very rarely see a game go farther than 3 bases. Even 3 bases is a pretty long tooth and tail game these days. We don't really get into the stalemates, split the map kind of situations like in some of the previous metas. Good scout here from Chase, sees everything there is to see. And I think I'm just happy macroing, right? I see that turret. I'm like, okay. Yeah, exactly. Good response there from Chase. 4 farms is a little crazy, a little risky. Kind of hoping that he sees some farms from durteetr on this follow-up scout. Yeah, okay, sees a couple farms, you're gonna be happy. If you see no farms, you might be sweating a little bit, like, uh-oh. Is the opponent building 2 tier 2 and just gonna, wreck me? So let's see what Chase wants to go for here. Getting into some tier 2. Lots of tier 1 for a macro game. Just wants to be safe, I guess. Squizzard is pretty good against most tier 2 of the opponents. The only time you get in trouble with Squizzard is against cams. And I don't know. If it's the early game, I see a tier 2. I'm assuming either cam or skunk. Ooh, gonna take a lot of damage, but still gets in and gets a good scout. Meanwhile, durteetr also got a good scout. Let me verify on their vision here. Wait, am I doing this wrong? There we go. Okay, yeah, they saw everything as well. So 16 farms for Chase. durteetr gonna be a little bit behind. I don't blame him for wanting that turret right there. It's such a tempting turret spot, but generally, especially with turrets, like you really don't want to build them until you're under attack. Like that could have been a farm or another Warren. So just a good tip for newer players. Sometimes that's not as true when you get into like artillery, balloon. You might be there's different concepts with those. Trying to split maps or really reinforce positions, but. Like if durteetr scouted Chase, this map's big enough, and like saw that Chase's army is moving, you can just throw down some turrets in response. So durteetr is gonna send his whole army over here to deal with this. I was gonna say maybe just send some raccoons, but Chase does have lizards, so you gotta be careful about that. Yeah, as soon as his army gets out of position, these lizards could backstab. They pick off a straggling squirrel. Let's see how much more. Oh my God, does he get the? No! Sell it! Oh, dude. 90 food for free there. Oh, that's brutal. He should lose all these lizards. Let's see if he can get more damage done. Oh, if he gets that tier 2 warrant, sign my mouse pad. Okay, okay, does lose the lizards. So, ended up being more food for durteetr, but bad tempo hit. Lost his boar warrant, which, you know, tier 3 is really all about timing. And Chase does not have any tier 3 at all. Double boar is kind of weird. I think the boar is like the one tier 3 that doesn't scale. Am I crazy? Like the flamethrowers don't stack. Do they? I don't think they do. I mean, you get 2 boars, you get 2 boar bombs, you get 2 big fat HP pools you gotta grind through. But this is tough. Okay, look at these. These turrets are actually not bad now. You know your opponent's got lizards. It's a great, like, I don't think you need 4. You'd probably get away with like 2. And this is a great amount of lizards by Chase, by the way. I'm personally a big fan of like the 6 lizards out and about, kind of harassing, and Chase is just being very active with his units, trying to use these falcons to pick things off. This is a little bit harder than it looks to do correctly, because you can't really control these units too well. You just kind of got to rally them and move your commander around. All right. Kind of a fun game already. Chase, though, is winning the economy war for sure. This is a bit... I feel like durteetr should stop trying to expand over here. Yeah, look at these lizards here as well, just waiting. I think this is a perfectly fine expansion to take. I wish durteetr would have taken it earlier, though, because, you know, I've talked about a few times today, you know, the mill gains HP over time, right? So if you're... the problem with this mill is, like, your third base is going to be the front line. But Chase has a little bit of a similar problem, right? Like, if I'm durteetr, I'm probably attacking this way. And that's why Chase has all of his units just chilling here. So I think that's definitely the better move. And I think it's probably too late at this point. You know, the boar is here, but Chase saw the boar. Yeah, he saw the previous boar. He didn't see the new ones. But now that you know that the boar is a thing, you just start building more falcons, right? And that's exactly what Chase has been doing. Let's see how much units can shoot up. We do have a good amount of squirrels and raccoons here from durteetr, but no falcons of their own just quite yet. Here comes the engagement. I think you should try it. Like, if you guys trade armies and the boar, you kind of YOLO the boar onto the mill, right? Like, the boar does torch down buildings super fast. I think he got a little scared from all those falcons, which I don't blame him. Yeah, this is a little tough. But the problem I think that durteetr is in is that his economy is just so far behind. Like, even if he takes out this base, he's going back on even footing. So that's really the major problem here. And Dirt is finally taking this third. I think if Dirt would have taken, like, this would have been the first third that Dirt would have tried, he would have had a much better match. But look at this! Toads Magoats here from Chase. You love to see it. We might see some of my favorite 69 toads. Nice. That's what we're building up to. Chase is memeing a little bit here. Oh, here comes the March of the Toads. Oh, one other unit change that I got into this game was toads moving faster in water. Pretty proud of that one, because there are amphibious. So Chase gonna win the real fight with all his falcons. Oh my god. Are we committing to 60 toads? Are we doing this? Are we doing this, Chase? Chase? Dude, please. I don't ask for many things in my life. I'm a humble man. I live a simple life. But by God, if I could see 80 toads in a game of Tooth and Tail, that'd make me a happy man. We're up to 63. No! Oh my god, what the hell? See, this could be hard. This is hard to do right, though, because you don't want, like, all of your toads to blow up on that mill, you know? You gotta be careful. And you can see Chase is, like, trying to do it. Oh, here they come! Oh my god, what a madman. Okay. Well, knocking durteetr's economy back into the Stone Age. But the problem is, you gotta be careful, like, durteetr's army is better than Chase's, because Chase is, like, being a goofball for us here. But, you could totally lose this game. This is a tournament match. Like, this is something I would expect to see when I was doing, like, the Feast replays back in the day. You know, but this is a serious game here. Alright, so durteetr, I don't know if he knows this, but he needs to be rebuilding mills. I think that's where he just lost his game. Like, if he would have started building more mills... Look at this, dude. Chase! Let's get it. Yeah, that's the mistake. So durteetr actually playing some solid tooth and tail, but you can see just a few minor mistakes throughout the course of the game. Taking the wrong third bases, not rebuilding mills, and here we are, we see it. Chase, Toads Magodes. Destroying all the mills with Toads. You love to see it. Wild. Alright. Here we go. Match number 2. durteetr's like, what? I don't know. I don't even know what I would think anymore after that. Alright, in the bottom, Chase. No Toads this time, unfortunately. And up top, we've got durteetr. Chase also playing a little goofy. This is what we would call the pile style back in the day. I would love to see pile again. Who in chat remembers pile? I know Meek does. I know this guy does. QQ. I don't know if anybody else knows who I'm talking about, but Pile played, I don't know, circa 2017, 2019, I think, were the big Pile days. And no matter what the meta was, he would play Lizard plus all the defensive structures. And he would wreck it. He would kill it, dude. You never really saw it before, you never really saw it again. So Chase is close to that Pile style. He's got the skunk squirrel in there. But Lizard in a lot of defense. So 5 farm double here from durteetr. Gonna keep Chase on his toes. I don't know how much durteetr is actually committing to this though, because he did build that extra farm and queued it, which slowed down his units. So this might be a little bit of mind games here. Yeah, he sells off 1. I think you're better off selling off the Lizard in that kind of situation, because the squirrel is a better defensive unit. I'm gonna throw down that emergency turret. See, one way that you can get in trouble when you like try to fake a 4 or 5 farm double, is you sell them, you get into 8 farms, and your opponent's like, well, hey, I have 2 warrens now, I just attack you. So that's why you can see durteetr here being a little careful, throwing down the turret, slowly getting into 8 farms. Not really sure who came out on top there. I mean, I guess according to the income graph, it looks like it was Chase. Got his 8 farms up and running a little bit faster. Pile style, says Bayou Boosie in chat. Yeah, exactly. Those were the days. DJ Soap, Chip from Space. Clash of Comrades. Alright. Gets a Warren there. Lizard backing up. So far, so good out of durteetr. He needs to spend his money. I would just rail down more lizards at this point. Let's see what he goes for. A couple more lizards, a couple more pigeons, maybe some more squirrels. I mean, that was a nice pick from durteetr there. He got the Warren, he got a good trade. Chase is also taking a mill. So I think these turrets are a mistake. You could definitely sell these turrets, get more army. I think if durteetr did that, he'd probably just win the game. Doesn't have a lot of tier 1 right now, though, and is kind of running around the map. He needs to be careful about this. Chase can call his bluff out. Chase's army's way bigger right now. And durteetr biting off a little bit more than he can chew here. Good sell on that mill. But yeah, Chase just sticking to Squizzard, which I like this a lot. I think if you're taking the risk by like being the first one to expand, that's a good way to help leverage that you're not being too greedy, right? Like, all his army is just tier 1. You know, tier 2 takes a lot longer to build, more expensive, but the bigger part that you can easily forget is, like, the tier 1 just replenishes so much faster, you know, in between fights. You know, it's a really, like, if you have a bunch of Squirrel Warrens, they are going to reproduce so much faster. You're going to rebuild another army compared to, like, if you have a couple tier 2 Warrens there. So durteetr is trying to be on the map on this skunk, but the lizards eat skunks for breakfast. Oh, 1 HP on that skunk, though. The turrets do save the day. That's actually huge for durteetr. But durteetr is in a tough situation right now because, you know, turtling on the 1 base is not going to cut it. You know, your opponent's got 2 bases up. And now actually getting in some defense as well. Great play here from Chase. And finally getting into that skunk, but yeah, this is really rough. durteetr really needed to push this position. And he still has a slight opportunity to. But gonna get the Fox. Unfortunately, the Fox not quite the unit you want against the balloon. And technically, he has seen the balloon so far. I don't think you're gonna be okay to turtle on one base when your opponent's going right up to 16 farms here. Even a third base from Chase. Chase is absolutely gonna win this game through economy. durteetr is just way too far behind. It needs to make a play, but you know, having all that food invested in the turrets, having the food invested in the Fox, really not going to let him do it. He's out here trying to do something, and Chase is respecting this probably a little more than he should. Yeah, here we go. Chase moving up now. We're going to be able to clean this up and push durteetr back. Let's see, the Fox did get paid for. But Chase is really well equipped to deal with the Fox. You know, he's got the lizards. And also he's got the big economy. Like, that's another way back in the day when I was, you know, really big Fox player, where people could beat you, is just getting a better economy than you and just, like, throwing squirrels at you, Zap Brannigan style, right? Like, you know, if their economy is just way better, like, yeah, the Fox is getting value and picking off squirrels, but if your opponent's got, like, 40 squirrels, that doesn't really matter, you know? So it's going to be tough for Chase to, like, push in here and win. But again, I think fundamentally the problem here for durteetr is that he just doesn't have enough real estate to be turtling like this. You know, he needed a couple more mills. And now that Chase is on, you know, 3 farms here, look at this. Or 3 mills, rather. Chase is just going to build this line of scrimmage. I would even build these turrets, like, right all the way up. And his poor Kasha is just not going to get anything done. All of these turrets, right when the Fox comes out. This is brutal for durteetr. I think durteetr is a good player, actually. I think last game was really cool, but just a little bit of fundamentals missing here. You know, kind of trapped in a box. And Chase just has the whole rest of the map. Unfortunately, no toads to build 100 of and just win. But from here, Chase does not really need to invest in any more defense. I mean, he's going to continue to. Oh, this Fox is going to get trapped and dead. And is that where durteetr is just going to call it, or they're going to stick this one out? Look at this from my man Chase here. Yeah, unfortunately, there's no way that durteetr wins from here. Just 1 farm to 16. So going to fast forward a little bit as Chase is playing with his food. There it is. GG. Chase takes a victory 2-0. Oh, you were trying to write it. Yeah, I figured you were trying to write something on the map there.